it's not just the beauty of much Wenlock, but it's the fact that today Speaking Volumes and Anna have asked me to come and introduce this great collection of poets here and bring you a little taste of the poetry Parnassus that we had in London, where poets from every country came in, and they were great poets. It was a week of absolutely stunning poetry. I think you'll get a feeling of some of that today. From Saudi Arabia, Ashjan al-Hindi, translated from the Arabic by Ashjan al-Hindi. Many of the poets were actually bilingual as well. In search of the other. Isabella, she searches for someone else every day and finds me. And I search for someone else, but find her. It is said that East and West shall never meet, but Isabella and I meet every day on our trip in search of others. And the note at the end of that poem is, Isabella is a German girl who is a member of the organizing committee in charge of the Arab delegation guests participating in the International Frankfurt Book Fair in 2004. So, lovely poem.
I would like to read a poem of one of my visits to, I just came back from Havana. I was part of the Poetry Festival from the end of June until early July. And from time to time, whenever I come back to my Caribbean island, I write some poems. But this poem belonged to a few years ago, and the title is Searching for an Unemployed Lover. Havana lives on the edge of darkness, with its air contaminated by tourists and uncommon dissidents, where the young offer of a dress tightly fitting the circumstances of the latest fashion trots, ironically, along the seafront, among seemingly exotic cocktails and the perennial indifference of a commissaire, also confused when it comes to persuasion. Whatever form it took, Havana was there, mine and more sensual than usual, leaning out as always from her balconies, gazing tirelessly towards the sea of girls and boys of the past, dressed in lycra and the reflection of a forbidden disco, with that dizzy silhouette facing a pale face, unexpected and unknown, wearing foreign clothes, of course. However, there is no time to lose for the poor beggar, searching for the right moment for a quick feel and the game between tongues. After all, we are in the presence of an age tormented by so many ailments. There is no time to lose either, because tomorrow afternoon would already be tonight, and also another peaceful dawn, rewarded with a sumptuous supper of simply a supper with no imported frills, for as long as the reign of austerity lasts, or just a daring invitation. In these times, only Okana, the solitary African conch, who predicts ill omens, restlessly roams the earth, thirsting for so many kinds, acts, waste, incoherent offerings, and silly pleas. Something is wanting in the look, like that aim at assisting the needy, so much that today, Monday, seems to exude a certain arrogance which was never before entirely rational. If only you were here with me now, oh my queen of the sea, you who dare to ride the waves mounted on Taurus, among precious turquoise gems which adorn gentle crown, you who are always ignore the secretly agree cry of the initiate. Before dusk, and you keep going in my arms, accompanied only by the sounds of dry coconuts, which have always been dry. You did not return from the grand feast and were speaking with yourself, striving to satisfy the freshness of honey on the tips of your breasts, your body writhing fresh with clean waters, penetrating the most intimate point of your night. There where shame halts frightened, and before parting, all the shadows were innocent and silently similar.
And this one is going back to a place called in Hungary, Western Hungary, called Lake Balaton. Maybe some of you have been, I don't know. But it's the Hungarian sea, although we are landlocked. And it's about 70 miles long, maybe less, taking up nearly half of the country, and quite thin, kind of narrow, about 6 kilometers wide, the widest bit. But again, briefly, I'm using the mythology, the folklore, and the geology, and the history of geology and the history of folklore of this place. And one of the things maybe you need to understand is there is this rumor that the city have been drowned there, or drowned there at some point, thousands of years ago. So I take an imaginary dive, and I end up in Budapest, where I'm from, and I kind of reconstruct childhood or all that kind of weird stuff. Anyway. I'm just going to check the time, because I know people are strict. In the poetry world. Right. A book of breathings. Balaton 1, the ceramic pot. To write about a place, you need to gather its ashes into a ceramic pot, or into some kind of a hollow, concave vessel. Then you want to tilt it when it's full to the brim, or to drop it as if it had accidentally slipped out of your hand, all at once. So, for example, to love the lake you're thinking of, to love the city you want to imagine, first you must let the city drown and let the lake submerge too, welling silt of memories, one layer after another. Sediments of a sunlit hillside braided with vineyards, an abbey perched on the summit of the hill, and a round-mouthed snail carrying a conical shell on its back, a vital ornament of the fauna. Look, just when it's inching up, you could brush it off the slope. In fact, you want to let the residues of inhabitants drain down the whirlpool, one and all on its own merits, a shouting girl and a shepherd tending 1,000 golden-haired goats, a bishop who lives in the abbey guarding an old manuscript, long forgotten. In fact, you need to let go of grandmother too, her silhouette like a river, meandering among vine branches like the spiral of a lizard, warming its thin lilac veins on sunlit stones, watching over the horizon. Now, from an aerial view, all it is a drop of muddy water flowing down a horn of international maps, down your own funnel-shaped palms. Arrivals must not equate to departures any longer. You cannot go around in circles anymore. To love a place, to love a segment of geography, a fragment of rock, a mote of a mountain, you must leave this segment, this fragment, this mote in a codex, locked away in blocks of wood. You must then entrust this codex to a glass case, the glass case to an unattended museum, the museum to a necropolis. You must forget how to pronounce. Now all it is a cup left on a stranger's table, an empty see-through glass, its emptiness as small as the universe.
I'm going to read a section from a very long poem called Requiem. This poem is considered to be his most significant work. It's very, very long, over 10,000 lines, and it consists of different sections. Each section can stand on its own, and I'm going to read one section, but they're all an integral part of the entire poem as well. It's called Give Me My Eyes. It is a calm morning, a calm noon. It is a calm evening upon the innocence of the turbulent heart. If the sun has melted you today, you who stand on every crossroad before every truth and every noble thing in the world as custom houses, destroying chiming caravans of songs like pirates, you who are gorges, evil eyes everywhere, ever present in this world. If the sun forces the last hiding fragments of truth to surface in you at last, wrap her seductive hair around your hands, bend her glorious head, make her bow in your firm fists. Would you? I can hear the sun giggling. Her every ray will glue you to the wall, turning you into a mere helpless shadow. And if it comes closer to you, you shall turn into a pale desert, unable to stand on your charred roots. And you shall never be slaves, kings or gods. You cannot wear the glories of light again, and you shall stay silent, forever restrained. This is your truth, Lord, Son, God. I unveil my truth before you. I open my soul. I do it like the sky, but you circle around my existence looking for an opening or a door to enter. But where does one look for the door to the universe? Under my open roof, by my doorstep, I can now see your powerless, helpless faces and your search, the search for the door which turns you into deserts. Yet I open my soul, my great freedom, my yearnings, which piling up here and there turned into green hills of happiness. My voice, which was put into a coffin with a muted silence, and when it was no longer a voice, had become a roar, was lowered into the grave in sleeping brains and covered with water, with stone, with earth. No doors, there are no doors. Your endless complaint drips into my eyes like those tears of 1,000,000 years, known 1,000,000 times. And after all, the soul is hardly a brothel for everyone to enter at his desire. Yet I still open my soul. I open it to you as I open my arms when some noble music touches my nerves. Give me my hands and I shall tie bouquets of colors for you. One by one I shall collect the whispers of flowers. I shall catch the throb of voices in the air. I shall hold the unreachable chimes of the clouds, wash them in the clean mist of waterfalls. In my hand I shall drain salty seawater, sprinkle some salt on your tasteless morsels. I shall bring out voices from lips with my fingers and squeeze diamonds out from storms. Give me my hands and I shall build bridges for you. I shall caress the earth and it will turn fertile. I shall touch the pale wet foreheads of the mountains. They shall release water spring from their closed-up chests. Stones shall murmur blessings with the words of the Sphinx. Give me my eyes to see you the way you were created by the spirit of nature. Do not let me stay blind. Give me my eyes. Give them to me to look at sympathy with sympathy. Give me my heart. You've placed in my chest instead of a heart a worn-out, weary creature. I carry it, and it carries me. We carry each other on the dark, remote paths of the unknown. Give me my heart, and I shall collect all your sufferings. I shall drain your sorrows from your eyes and sprinkle shades of happiness upon your souls. Give me my lips. I shall pull flowers from the earth with them. I shall kiss the rock, and it will turn into a church. I shall kiss your eyes, your lips, your voices. I shall touch the waters will giggle. I shall kiss silence, and it will utter magical words. I shall kiss the colors, and they shall weep. They shall whirl in a thrill of joy, and we shall be tangled up in colors. Give me my lips to find unreachable words for you, to turn sounds into magical branches from which to hang as flowers the words I find. Give me my lips to sing for you. I shall sing a requiem mass. I shall murmur prayers, and the arches will rise to the skies.